Welcome to the video. Egan Bernal is out of the Tour de France. We're going to show you some video footage in a second here. Egan Bernal, 23-year-old rim brake rider. There's a picture here with the Bernals back in 2018. Got some heaps of video footage I've got to find from back in 2000 days. Bernal in real life, super friendly guy. Just down to earth. This guy likes riding his bike. A very talented rider. He's out of the Tour de France. He's pulled out citing knee injury, back injury, not feeling so good. Okay, so that's at the end of the Tour de France for him for this year, 2020. He'll be back. He won it last year. Must be tough, though. Must be tough learning experience going from, the favourite to win to pulling out. That would be, yeah. A lot of news coverage a week. Everyone's covering it right now because Egan he sells magazines. He gets clicks. He's like Froome. He's like Lance. He's like the people who these animators of races. He's out. What does this mean for the Tour de France 2020? It means that there's only 2 races left in the race that could win it. We have Primo and Tadej, rim brake riders. And people say, stop going on about the brakes, Harley. The brakes make a difference. You can't win the Tour de France with disc brakes if you've got rim brake. Something needs to be banned. Rim brakes need to be banned, or disc brakes need to be banned. You can't have this discrepancy, this disadvantage for riders on disc brakes, heavier bikes, you got slow wheel changes, you got anxiety. It needs to be the same for all riders. So either ban the rim or ban the disc. Make your minds up. I say ban the disc because discs are dangerous and they're unnecessary. These guys have got such good skills. They don't need disc brakes on a road bike. Disc brakes on a road bike is fantastic for commuting in the wet, in the dirt. You're doing like 30k an hour. Flying down a hill at 100k an hour, in the wet, or mildly damp roads with a 25mm tubular at 100 psi or 140 psi, and you got disc brakes on there, and you're grabbing it, and you get that gyroscopic precession on the back wheel causing crashes. You saw it even with Hershey on some of the downhills when he's grabbing his brakes, and it's just his bikes or Cervelo's all skidding up, and it's all that just gyroscopic precession. Look it up. Gyroscopic precession you get because these bikes are asymmetrical in terms of braking forces. But look at this, we've got rim brakes, we've got domination here. So it is unfortunate he's out. He is out of the Tour de France. The 2 Slovenians are so far ahead, and Egan was so far ahead of the rest. It's not fair. I think we should set up a hashtag free Richie Port. I think Richie Port is definitely a contender this year, but not on that clunker that Trek have given him. Trek need to give him a real climbing bike, a real racing bike. A Trekker Monda with disc brakes is a mammal bike. Richie Port doesn't need disc brakes. The guy knows how to go downhill. Yeah, you don't get to this level of cycling if you're a mammal. And there's nothing wrong with being a mammal. I'm a mammal. I use disc brakes on my gravel bike. I'm just saying that for the Tour de France, we've got to have it more even. It can't be 2 speeds. It can't be 2 speeds, disc and rim. It can't. These Slovenians and Egan had such an advantage on rim brakes, just faster wheel changes. Look at Richie Port, he had to do a bike change. With Kenny Ellison. Thankfully that Kenny was there. Thankfully Kenny was there. Like, remember that time Richie Port had a flat tyre and Simon Clark gave him a front wheel. That's what we're talking about. Rim brake, the rim brake family. This nonsense with disc brakes for road, it's crazy. But we're going to see who's going to win the Tour de France. I think it's going to be Tadej, personally, and second Primo. I think that's what's going to happen. I think Primo, Tadej is hungry, man. He's a hungry little Slovenian on his rim brake Colnago that's made in China. And he wants to win, so I think he's hungry for it. He's thinking in his head, I think he could smoke Primo. I think they're just he's respecting Primo, this landslide. Remember that landslide? I think he's respecting Primo, but he's like, we gotta, you gotta get the win. So I think Tadej, ride free, bro. Let's have a real race. Don't be sitting in the wheels of Primo. Attack at the start of the climb. Light it up. We know you guys. We know both you and Primo can attack at the start of the climb, but I know why he's named. I get it. But maybe attack halfway up or 3/4 away up. Just attack and drop Primo, or he's going to drop you. But let's put it on the line. All right, let's put it on the line. There's no point just rolling in first and second every day. Like, put it on the line, fight for that first place. Give us something. This is entertainment. Give us something to watch. We want you guys out there to be safe. We don't want to see any crashes. We don't want to see any dangerous riding. We want to see gladiator stuff on the climb zone. We want to see gladiators. Heck with the press. Let's give gladiator. Let's bring it on. Let's drop them 7 watts per kilo from the start. Let's get it on. I think that Tadej has got that little bit of an edge over Primo. I think Primo's got the seniority, and he's got the alphaness, and Tadej is respecting that Primo has that seniority, and that's good. It's respectful, but it's also a bike race up a hill, all right, and it's a time trial. So there's respect, but there's also athleticism, and I think that Tadej needs to launch that athleticism and go just like Tyler Hamilton did with the Lance and Floyd Landis did with the Lance and stuff like that. Especially Tyler Hamilton. I think that Tadej needs to run free and just go for it. But yeah, Primo and Tadej way above the field, aren't they? They're way above the field. Anyway, that's my thoughts, comments, and criticisms. Egan Bernal, super nice guy in real life. Super disappointing that he's out of the Tour de France. He was my favourite to win. I feel he would have won, barring this corona nonsense that's going on and the two months. I didn't even know he was actually locked indoors for 2 months in terms of training. I didn't know that until today. Had I known that, I probably wouldn't have put $10,000 on him for the win. But anyway, you can make money. You lose money, you make money. Time, you can't get time back. So we live in interesting times. That's the deal. That's my comments and criticism down below. Who do you think is going to win the Tour de France? My money is on Tadej, the Slovenian banana muncher, on their rim brake bikes. All right, this is what's happening. The rim domination and cadence as well. Primo's cadence is primo. That cadence he's doing is primo. Amazing. These guys' cadences. They just prove what I've been saying all along. Sugar, spin to win. High carb, high octane, high oxygen, low aldosterone levels. Get it done. Just getting it done. Anyway, that's the video. Thanks for watching.
Addicted to light, center, always in the limelight. Show ya a real good time. Oh, I know you got something else for me. Like secret language, speaking in tongues. Snake like tongue tight, you on the run. Travel, dancing, I don't know, but you are, you are, you are, you are. Summer, soaring over my heart. We're both dancing over the dark side. I don't know who you are, you are, you are, you are. You got letters sprinkled all over your body. If I join up the dots, it makes me feel naughty. I feel like I shouldn't touch. You got a no touching sign. I feel like I shouldn't run. You're blocking the exit with your life. You're blocking the exit with your life.